So because I bottle things inside so much, when I do get angry, it's like, it's like I'm seeing red and we're fighting. Like, I'm a fight you on sight. And I'm not even that person.
Yeah.
But
Have you fought someone on site?
No.
I've experienced Chido's fighting in quotes on site.
I will use my words.
Scary.
Wait. The jacket.
Yes.
No.
I was like, is this what? I was like, wow.
Hey guys, this is Anesu, aka Nyati Shonga.
Hello, my name is Chido, aka Chizzy.
Wagwan.
Advocate Amanda here.
Hi everyone, this is Kuda, aka Cooks.
Hi, and welcome to As Told by Us, the podcast. This is a weekly podcast where 4 professional millennials discuss living in Zimbabwe and trying to figure life out.
Someone once told us the grass is much greener on the other side.
But from where we're standing, our grass is green. Subscribe, like,
Share.
comment down below.
Hello, good people. Happy Monday. Welcome back to As Told by Us, the podcast. That's our handle on all the social medias. If you do want to follow,
Please follow us.
do you want to comment? If you do want to talk to us, we love engaging with you guys.
Or talk about us.
Yeah, we'll talk about us. Yeah, some people have some crazy views. Myself, I mean. So this episode, I think I'll just start with the dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a bit on the aside. It's am I the S? Beep.
Are you the one?
Asshole.
Asshole.
Oh my God, no, you guys.
Oh, am I the bad person for picking a revealing bridesmaid's dress in order to get one of my bridesmaids to drop out?
Yes.
That's the question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the story.
Revealing. Oh, there's a story.
Yeah.
But the
So-
answer is yes. Please, Anesu, go ahead.
So this has been a long time coming. My soon-to-be husband has a sister. Let's call her Maria. Now, Maria and I do not click very well. I am polite, but I wouldn't say we are friends. I felt I was forced by his family to make her a bridesmaid, or she will be sad. Ugh, honestly. Okay? I'm going to be blunt. Maria is fat and very insecure about it.
Yes, you are the asshole.
This has led bridesmaid dresses shopping to be a nightmare. Never could find something she wants, and all other bridesmaids would be liking it. So I gave everyone 2 options to vote on. Option 1 was getting a dress that can be styled multiple ways or picked from a collection so everyone matches. Or the other option was picking from a collection so that everyone matches, but they'll need to pay for it. Oh, sorry. Then option 2. Option 2 was I will buy everyone's dress, but what I choose will be the final decision. So let me go back. Mm-hmm. So she's saying option 1 is those infinity dresses where you can pick and choose what it needs to look like. Uh-huh. And then option 2 is, hey guys, if it's Amanda getting married, Amanda just pick. We'll do what you want.
Dress, y'all.
Just pick. So my 5 bridesmaids voted and option 2 won. So I picked out a blue strapless dress with a mini slit. She's evil. I really like it, and I knew Maria would have an issue with it. I sent a picture to all the bridesmaids and confirming the right size before I ordered it. This is where it blew up. Maria was pissed I picked a revealing dress. This resulted in an argument where she thinks I am a huge jerk, and I told her she can step down if she has issues with the dress. So she tried to get the family on her side, but everyone knows I gave them options and had watched me struggle to find something that everyone would want. And then she puts an edit little aside. Edit, she voted for the option where I pay for the dress. I truly didn't ask her, since her and my mother-in-law announced that she was one of my bridesmaids at the family gathering. The only way to keep peace with the whole family was basically giving her what she wanted. So, yeah, and then she says she also went to 4 different shops just to find something that would fit for everyone.
Except Maria.
So is she the jerk?
Do you know what? This sounds like a question for a mysterious male voice. I think because you checked out literally.
Bridesmaids said, get out of here.
Yo, that's just it just sounds mean. To be honest, like she never wanted to have the sister as part of it. It was just like from the start. It was like
Yeah.
But it's true, she said. We weren't friends. I didn't want her part. So
Mom said Maria is fit, guys.
But also, I don't know why. I mean, I understand that you're trying to bring 2 families together, right? But is there an obligation to have Mandem's sisters as a bridesmaid, and then if I have a brother, then he has to be a groomsman? I find that is the trend.
Yeah.
People always, that's been a trend that I've seen, that if the wife has a brother, then he's a groomsman, and then if he has sisters, then she's a bridesmaid. And I feel like it's out of obligation, right? I don't understand it, maybe because the family's sort of expected. I don't know if you think that the family's expected, so you do it because you think that the family's expected. But for me, if you don't want her there, just say, I had an aesthetic. Clearly, she had an aesthetic that she wanted.
Only skinny girls.
Yeah, she had an aesthetic that she wanted. And Maria clearly does not fit within the aesthetic of the things she wants. And her and Maria are not friends. Just say, friend, no. You can't. I will give you you can sit at the VIP table. I can even buy you a dress, because clearly she can. I can buy you your own dress that you will feel comfortable in. You just don't have to be a part of the bridal team.
Yeah.
You know, have a conversation with your brother, with your husband now, your soon-to-be husband, and say, listen, this is not going to work for me, and I can't do it.
But I feel like it's already too late.
Yeah, it's too late though.
It's too late. Like, why did you agree in the first place if you really didn't want Maria there?
To keep the peace.
She said that was announced at a family gathering by her mother-in-law.
Oof.
And it's so awkward now, that dynamic of,
Mother-in-law. I agree with Kuda. I feel like it's bride's discretion. But I've seen, especially in our culture, there's a tendency, especially for parents, either both sides or one side, but there's always that one parent or somebody who starts to hijack the wedding, and it becomes less about the couple.
Yeah.
And I think for me that speaks to a bigger problem that you're gonna have with your in-laws, because why can't you just let me have my wedding the way that I want it?
Yeah.
I feel like the whole gendering of the bridal team is also weird. Like, why can't I have a mixed gender team? Because it's just really, I don't know, man. It sounds so stressful, Shame. I like every time I see, especially when you have a family like that, or you're from a family like that, or you're marrying into a family like that, it just takes away the whole fun and niceness of the wedding. Like, it's so rare to see a happy bride, because there's just always so much going on and so many people personalizing something that's got nothing to do with them. But anyway, back to our girl. I think she's wrong just because of, I mean, she did it on purpose. She's like, literally, I want this person to feel bad because I'm not getting my way. Like, okay, fine, it's a shitty situation, but then also you're just being
what must happen?
vindictive now.
I was gonna say, like, what Amanda was saying, right? Like, fine, you're in a shitty situation, right? But also, what kind of person are you then?
Yeah.
Like, then it just means you're a nasty person, because, okay, you've been dealt a shitty situation. You're just making it worse for yourself, just now being the bitch in the whole issue. Because now, again, they're all gonna look at you like, side eye. What kind of murora is this anyway? Like, how can you treat your tete to be in this way? So I feel like she's also just showing the kind of person she is, and she's not a nice person.
Yo, guys, controversial take. I don't think she's the asshole, to be honest. I feel like she was put in a situation and she didn't know how to get out of it, and she couldn't tell anyone about it. Oh. So she couldn't go to her husband and her soon-to-be husband and be like, I don't want your sister in the bridal team.
That's the problem. For me, that's the problem for me. Why can't you talk to your man who's supposed to deal with this?
What's the matter?
Yeah. Because it's your mom, it's your sister.
They are the problem.
Yeah, speak to him and tell him. If you can't, male voice.
If you can't control your people.
No, but it's not my job to control them. It's his job. That's his family.
Yeah.
But if you can't tell him already, that's a problem. What kind of a marriage are you having?
I feel like in most situations, you can tell your person these things. They're not going to do anything about it. Because
then he's the problem.
It's my family. It's my mom.
Don't marry him then.
Just do it for these 24 hours, babe.
Yeah.
Like, sacrifice.
For him as well. It's like,
it's your family.
For him.
Whose responsibility then? Because then tomorrow your mother is coming and saying, oh, I don't like the menu. I want a different menu. Then tomorrow she comes back, oh, I don't like the DJ. I want a different DJ. At what point do you say to your mother, hey, sit down. It's not yours.
It's our wedding.
It's not yours.
Because that's feeling a bit personal.
Bro, talk to your mom, bro. Like, she started the mess. She needs to speak to her daughter and say,
I honestly don't think she was in the wrong. She needed a way out, and sadly this was
you
the
know
only
why
way.
she was wrong. Let me tell you why she was wrong. She obviously, her and her sister-in-law are not friends, right? But calling her out like she's fat and, she doesn't, that for me, the rest of it, I understand, I get it. Like I'm saying, she had an aesthetic she wanted.
No, but she was saying, I think the thing was, she said she's fat because when they're now picking the clothes, people are having a hard time to pick clothes. I've heard of situations like that. Like someone is bigger than the bridal group, right?
Just say bigger, don't say fat.
Yeah.
That's my problem. The phrasing already tells me that you're in your feelings.
She was, of course she's in her feelings. It's her wedding.
For me, it's the part where she says, I picked a dress that I knew she would not like, and revealing dress that I knew she would not like.
Because I needed her to drop out.
Malicious.
I'm tired.
That's malicious.
How will we pick a dress if I don't pick something that she doesn't like? Now it's 2 weeks into the wedding. She's still so saying, simple. This is too revealing. I don't like the slits.
Like I'll give an example of a wedding I've been a part of. The bride, childhood friends. And her aesthetic was like, a certain way. She wanted everybody to have a wig or a weave that was a particular form. But then she hit me up separately because, like, for me, that was like, okay, a dilemma because I just never got into that. But she knows that, and she hit me up and she's like, oh, by the way, you don't have to wear a wig. I'm happy with you doing whatever.
But that's when you care about someone and you want that person in your team.
Henceforth, she is the...
No, she had to make a plan, guys.
You know what?
She's tired.
I feel like she
had to put her foot down now before things go bad. Now they all know. I don't want it. Right?
Putting your foot down is come to us, with your chest and say, look, no, but that's where you become the asshole.
Yeah.
Because you fail to speak your truth. Putting your foot down is coming to say, look, mama, whatever, I understand, but then this is how I've budgeted my numbers. These are my people. This is the money that I'm putting in.
Yeah, you might as well lie.
I'm willing to put her to do this or do that. She can have a speech. She can do the prayer. Again, this is my bridesmaid. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That I can respect.
No, she say,
this sneaky stuff of now, I'm going to find a way to humiliate you and shame you. And basically saying I'm going to either embarrass you or you're going to step down. That's like, it's underhanded. It's messy. Like, just speak your truth. Come and say no. I'm not having her. These are my bridesmaids, and this is why we can accommodate you in this way. You're invited, whatever, cool. But then I'm not moving on this. That we can respect. But now to go and say, I'm going to find a way to make you feel bad and like prey on your obvious insecurities.
So that you drop out. I'm tired.
No, that's a bit like sociopath. Like that's
it's just mean.
It's just nah.
So the verdict is yes, you are the asshole.
Yes.
already.
And I mean, it might be worth it now for your wedding, but girl, think
your future.
However, I want to say that they always say that the wedding is for everybody else and the marriage is yours. So
who's paying? Who's paying for this wedding?
That's why we eloping in these streets. Just run away with your mans and do what makes you guys happy. Because they ain't paying.
Exactly. They're not paying, but they want to hijack your wedding.
The wedding is for everybody else. It's mostly for the parents.
But just to balance it out, she did say you can pay for the dress that you want and your decision is final. Meaning this girl is also not even feeling like, let me accommodate.
No, she wanted a freebie.
Yeah. But she was, she's gonna be.
Better wear this girl.
She's also giving me, I don't know Maria, but I also feel like she was also a bit of an asshole.
Maria is also off.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is you are. Sorry. So, guys, today we're going a bit deeper.
Yeah.
Okay, so just
Don't scare me.
Okay, well, so you can think of me as your therapist. Take a seat on your couch, lie down, and listen. Okay, we're talking today about shadow work, right? And what shadow work is the balance, being in tune with not just your conscious self, but your unconscious self, right? We know that your unconscious self, so the things that you repress and the things that you refuse to acknowledge, actually is the things that dictate your life, your actions, how far you can go, how you relate to people. Right? So, for example, you could be trying to portray an image of, I'm a bubbly person. I hate that word. I'm an extrovert, right? I'm confident. You want to consciously give yourself to the public as that being your true self. But inside you have really bad social anxiety. Inside, you have really bad imposter syndrome, right? So that confidence you're trying to portray is not actually what then comes out, right? So your subconscious self really rules how you think, how you behave, how you feel, right? And this is really a general thing. So if you're a Christian girly, you know that if you're a Christian girl, you know that the Bible in itself says, out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth speaks, right? Out of the things that are truly, truly deep inside of you is how you behave, how you act, how you know. Psychologically, philosophically, there are the terms of, I think, therefore I am, right? What you think, what's really on the inside of you is who you are as a person. So doing that shadow work is important so you can understand what is really deep on the inside of you, why those things are what they are, and then how obviously then you can get to a point where you can change them. It's really more an act of what and why, right? So what is the problem and then why? So I'll give an example. What are my triggers, for example, right? That's the what. My triggers are really loud sounds and really like sirens, ambulances, those things. Why that triggers me? Fees must fall.
Oh, I see.
Right.
Okay.
So because of the protests that happened when I was in uni, loud sounds, sirens, ambulances, people screaming, people running, for me is a trigger.
That was
a trigger. Right. Similarly, phone calls for me are a trigger. Do not call me. Send me a message and then tell me I'm going to call you. Then I can prep myself. Why? Because I associate phone calls with trauma. Right? Anytime that I've had, there are many times where I've had phone calls that have really traumatized me.
Yeah.
Right? So don't call me. I will not answer. I will let your phone ring. And then I'll text you.
What do you want?
Prep me first. Okay. Right. So it's that understanding of what is the problem, what is the issue, and then why is it, and then you can delve a bit more into it. Okay. So we're gonna do a bit of shadow work today. Okay.
Why am I nervous?
I'm also nervous.
Okay, wait, but I'm gonna tell you. Right, let me tell you why it's important. Okay, there's some benefits to shadow work. Benefits to shadow work are you get better relationships, healthier relationships, right? So, for example, if you keep attracting the same man or woman, why? What is it about them?
What is it about you?
What is it about you that you are needing this person? Right? That's one thing. So it also gives you a bit of more self-acceptance so that you can accept all the parts of you. You're not repressing any part of you. Right? It gives you a better clarity of self, so understanding what your triggers are, what your traumas are, that kind of thing. Gives you more self-esteem. It makes you more compassionate to other people. It makes you more creative. It makes you discover hidden talents. There's so much more, but those are just the general ones. Okay?
Okay, let's get into it.
So, now that you know why we're doing it, and that it'll be beneficial for your own health, because doctor's orders, let's do a few. Does anyone want to talk about what their triggers are before I move on?
No.
Trigger? Nobody got a trigger. Okay, it's okay. That one's the worst.
Do you want us to get deep more?
Okay.
Let's deep piece.
What is an emotion that you try to avoid? I'm starting with the MMV.
Oh, damn. An emotion I try and avoid. Let's see. I try and avoid anger. Because I feel like when I get too angry, like it can get messy. And so I just try by all means to stay calm and really put extra effort into talking myself down or just like removing myself from certain situations. Because I understand that it's something that's been with me since I was a kid for some reasons.
Have you been in a fight? Don't give me details. It's a yes or no question. Have you been in like a physical
fight? Yeah, a couple. But then I guess the way I used to process it was in primary school, I used to play rugby. So it was already a contact sport. So if I had like frustrations or anything like that, you could put it in like tackling people and stuff like that. So it was, I used to process things like that. But then as I got older now, there's no more rugby. And I had to figure out different ways to deal with aggression and stuff like that. I went to like a boys' school that was very, at that time it was hectic. The time when I got to the boys' school that probably everyone's figuring out which boys' school this is.
What school is that?
Which one could it be? So I had to, come up with ways to like calm myself down. Works most of the time. Sometimes I just have to take a long walk.
Okay. And an emotion you try to avoid.
Guys, I'm such an emotional person. Literally. I think it would also be anger. But I didn't get into any fights or anything. I just feel like when I'm angry, what I'm trying to express doesn't relay. Yeah, so I might think, okay, how do you not understand that this, and this is making me angry? And the other person is like, what are you talking about? Because I feel like I have a tendency to bottle things up. So when I then do become angry, it's like, and then on the 16th of August, you
That's
did
me.
this. And then that other time I was quiet, but I didn't tell you anything because I just thought, let me just let it slide. But now today I'm angry, so I'm gonna tell you your life.
Yeah.
And it's a difficult emotion because you then regret what you've said afterwards. So you'll be like, you're this, you're that, you're this, and then you're like, hey, that person like cuts you off or something, and then you really feel bad.
But you meant it at the time.
At the time I did, but it's not that I don't mean it. I do, but I think it's the way I communicate it in my anger.
Okay.
So it's better to be like, okay, this person. But now I need to find a way to say, I don't like when you do this, this, and this.
That's true.
And when you're seeing red, shame.
So psychologists say that anger is a result of either hurt, frustration, or what's the other one? I don't know, I forgot. But either you're really hurt by something, or that person really hurt you, or they really frustrated you. Like you're feeling like you're not understanding me. Why aren't you understanding
The second one.
It's like a feeling of like you want to shake them to say,
Can you stop it?
wake up, listen to what I'm saying.
understand me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hear
that's
that.
my emotion.
Is that the same phase? Like
Yeah.
frustration and hurt. Okay.
I want to say that I really I was like, yes. And it's exactly what you were saying is exactly how I feel as well. Like, it's a bit uncanny how every word you were saying, I was like,
But you get me.
my twins. But for me, like, I have a weird relationship with emotions because I think I'm very emotional. But if I'm vulnerable, then that's scary for me because, like people can hurt me, so it's like, I'd rather just not be like overly emotional. Because like, if I were to show like, for example, an emotion such as love or happiness or whatever, somebody can easily come and just knock that shit over, So I have a very difficult relationship with emotions, but also like an emotion that I try to avoid, but I can't because it takes over me is also anger, It's like, I'm usually a very happy, bubbly, I'm always laughing, always joking around or whatever, but you actually don't know what is inside or what's going on in my mind or what's in my heart. Like I could be like crying on my way to work, but then when I get to work, I'm like happy-go-lucky, So what am I saying? Anger. So because I bottle things inside so much, when I do get angry, it's like, it's like I'm seeing red and we're fighting. Like I'm gonna fight you on sight, and I'm not even that person.
Yeah.
But
Have you fought someone on site?
No. I've experienced Chido's fighting in quotes on site.
I will use my words.
Scary.
Wait. Jacket.
Yes.
No.
I was like, is this what? I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Should you tell the story since you felt so attached?
Okay, so we were, Amma, you were even there, but you weren't there at the time. Like you were actually there in the vicinity, but like you weren't there when it happened. So we were at, what's that place called?
Oh gosh, university days.
Oldies. We were in Oldies, right? And it was winter time. We were wearing these jackets. Remember those kind of jackets? Yes.
Those ones were sick.
So what happens? We're walking out of Aldi's, right? And
I had lost my
she
jacket.
had lost her jacket.
Because I had twekished too much. I removed my jacket and I put
she
it
put it
somewhere.
on like those benches or whatever.
Yes.
So now, and also honestly, you had a history of even in all these
Guys, let's not rehash. Let's not rehash.
But
Let's
anyway.
talk about the jackets.
So now we're walking out of all these, and this is like, oh, I don't know my jacket. My jacket. So it so happens that some colored guy, he's also walking out. He's holding the jacket. Ow! I was like, bruh, do you know how much the jacket costs? You wanna steal this jacket? Oh, I went in on him.
And now, like, there were people around us. She made such a scene. She was like, how dare you? I was like, what? Is this Chido? Is this happy Chido?
Yeah.
But I understood at the same time, because that guy, he had it wrapped around his wrist.
He had it wrapped around his wrist.
And he was walking
so casually. And also, guys, we had been, like, things had just been stolen from us. I think that year. That year, no, we had just been robbed so many times.
Because there was the build-up.
Yeah,
so it was just the build-up of that frustration of like, guys, in this country, we can't go, like, this Anesu's phone had been stolen previously. We had to now look for her phone in all these.
That other time.
And then the other time when our bags got snatched. It was just like, my guy, come on, give me a break, you know. So yeah, I know for a fact, like when I get angry, I'm not even.
But if you need a fighter,
I'm here.
Got my jacket back.
I think similarly to Chido, I have an avoidance of emotions altogether. And I think for me, it's just like not really knowing how to deal with them and not really wanting that vulnerability of dealing with it like in the open, because sometimes you feel like, especially with certain triggering emotions like anger or whatever, it becomes a Pandora's box that sometimes you're not even in the place to deal with. But for me, I'd say more sadness than anger. Anger, I don't know, I'm pretty chilled. It takes a lot to get me angry, like angry. It takes a lot. But I think sadness is one that I avoid. In particular, crying. I don't like to cry. So I think that would be the avoided emotion. And I don't know, I think I used to cry a lot as a kid. But you know, when you get to that point where it's like something that sort of makes you a target and not really, you don't really get that experience of a comforting experience of crying. It usually just like adds to the trauma, and it's just like, oh yeah. So I think you get to a point where then I just avoid crying or anything that just gets me down. It makes me feel like wanting to move past that emotion a lot quicker, or rather like maybe bottling it and sort of dealing with it in a packaged way. But then it takes a lot for me to be like, oh, I actually feel sad about this, or this makes me feel down or sad. I think that's a bit of a difficult emotion to deal with. Anger, I sort of like, to be honest, I want to be more angry.
You want the fire.
You know what I mean? I like to. It's not nice. But then I guess also that makes it not really anger, because it's something related, but it's not really feeling angry. I think there's only one time where I really felt like I lost control in anger, but I don't know if I feel that negatively towards it. But then, like, say if I were to break down crying, that's a bit of a more difficult emotion that I'd rather.
Do you think that crying makes you feel weak?
It's not so much about how I feel about me, but the experience of it externally. You get, like, say if I were to start crying now, automatically I'm like, oh, let's hug her. Let's hug her. That's the part that I don't like, the pity. Like. Yeah, the pity. So like I can cry, but I want to cry by myself. Like a real nigga, you know, and put on music and whatever, movies, and just be in
It's an event.
But then, like, you know, sometimes you're crying. I think for me another thing is it takes a bit of time for me to process emotions, which makes it difficult for me to do in public, because it's like, okay, so now I'm crying, and then I was like, oh, what's wrong? And it's like, well, I kind of don't know, or I don't even know how to explain it, or I need more time to unpack it. Usually it's easier for me to like maybe write or to journal or whatever, for me to actually even get to a point where I can even say to you, oh,
it was
this, and break it down. And even to myself, it takes me that long. So now if I'm going to be crying in public, then it just becomes awkward. And I think the results, people just kind of be like, well, she's just crying. And then that just becomes a worse experience than just like, crying at home. So yeah.
I don't cry. I don't think I've ever cried. No, I've cried in public before. I was about to say I don't think I've ever cried in public. But I've cried in public privately. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
makes sense.
I've cried in my car. like, driving or something. But like, when I...
That's pretty public though.
Yeah, but I'm going past. You know what I mean? So we never saw me crying shit. But like, I've cried like in my car driving or something. But like you're saying, say I'm going to work and I'm really feeling very emotional and then I cry. By the time I get to work and I'm out,
Done.
God, no. No, there's never a trace.
Yeah,
there's no trace that like I was crying at all. Like, and I think for me, it is that feeling of like vulnerability because then I don't want to also have the chat about why am I crying.
It's like, bro.
Yeah, sometimes it really could be
to cry.
petty.
And it's also sometimes it's like the person, because some people are just there so that they can report or they just, I don't know. It's just like not the one,
It's okay. I'm moving on. Here's the last question. A good one, a positive one.
Okay.
What do you love about yourself and why? What is a trait about yourself that you love and why? Y'all don't gotta think that deeply, yo.
Do you know what? It's so easy to talk about negative things.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, somehow they're always like almost glaring. And then you kind of forget that there's positive things about yourself. There's amazing things about yourself too.
I think for me it's more of a lot of things I love are also partly the things that I don't like.
Yeah.
But it's just a weird interaction of the same thing. Like, say, for example, I love my independence.
Yes.
I think I'm a person where, like, if it's something that I really want, even if no one's with me, I'm going because it's something that pushes me. But at the same time, that's also something that I'm a bit about myself because it's kind of like, sometimes you gotta let people in. Sometimes you gotta, not just shut it out. And sometimes you don't know if it's an independence that's coming out of a sense of trauma and not being able to bond with people, or it's actually just a good thing to say that you're not that wishy-washy. You have a bit of some spine and backbone that you can also respect. So I guess it's a balance. I think I'm funny. I love it. I'm hilarious.
I mean, you kind of are.
I'm the same. I think I really like my strength. Like emotionally. But also, I mean, I'm not physically, I'm kind of strong. But I do like my strength. I'm very good at going through a hard situation, just moving on from it. But then that's also a downfall, right? Because then I don't deal. Like, I'm not good at dealing with how I'm actually feeling, right? And half the time when I'm, for example, in therapy or something, and she's like, oh, but how do you feel about this thing? I'm like, I feel fine. I'm always like, I feel fine about it, but I'm not. It's just really repressed. But I think there are certain times where I need to be strong and push through things. And I'm able to do that. Like, I'm not breaking down every 2 seconds. But then there are times where you actually have to then sit down and deal. And I don't like to deal. Dealing for me, it hurts.
Just a quick question. Who actually does that?
Who does what?
To deal with things.
I mean, I've been dealing with things. So, like, in therapy and things, you sort of have to deal. But it's really difficult because it opens up things about, like, your past that obviously you haven't dealt with yet, right? So it's then, like, now you're sitting in a hole. And, with therapy, before it gets better, it gets worse.
Yeah.
You know, so now you're sitting there in the depth of depression because you've realized all the things that you're repressing. And then now it comes out. But generally, I feel like also the problem is everybody then looks at you like, oh, she's a strong friend, or she's a strong one in the family. So no one checks in on you, no one cares. Because they're always like, oh, she's fine. Like, she's always strong. Like, she's okay.
That word, we need to banish it, guys. The strong black woman.
I'm trying to move from
I don't want to be strong.
We're soft.
But then it
We're
also
soft baby
shows
girls.
you maybe that there is no safe landing place. You don't have a person or people that you can be vulnerable with, or that you can break down in front of, because worse, like for me as a firstborn, it's very difficult. You know, you're holding your entire family together. So you can't be the one breaking down. You have to be the one to make sure that everybody else is okay.
It's okay.
So what time do you have to now care about yourself?
Yeah.
But I love that about me. But I also hate that about me. Okay, cool. Anyone else? What do you love about yourself?
I think I love that I'm very comfortable being myself.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that one.
Yeah, you're a real
Yeah. I'm just, I don't know. I feel like when I was younger, I tried to please so many people. I tried to be so many things for so many different people.
Right.
And it just wasn't working. Honestly, guys, you can't be this for Ningi and then be this for someone else. You just need to like have somewhere where you say, okay, what do I want? What do I feel? And all of that.
Do you feel selfish though when you do that?
Yes, and I love that I feel selfish. I love the selfish part of feeling comfortable with myself. I think, my family knows. If I'm not with it, I'm not with it.
Yeah.
If you say, let's go to this place, and I'm like, no, I want to sleep today, or I just don't want to be around those people because they're toxic.
Yes.
And some family members are toxic, guys. So I feel like people now at home, they're like, oh, this babe, she's always like. But it's something that I'm actually proud of because it's, I don't know, I just feel good knowing that this was my choice and I didn't want to do that, and the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I like about myself.
MMV, what do you like about yourself?
I like the fact that I'm getting better at being okay because I have an abundance of reasons not to be. So I like the fact that I've turned sort of the reasons not to be okay into sort of like a drive, and I'd like to think that I like to be in a position of like service. I like to be so good at what I do that the people next to me feel like they can be the best version of themselves. So I feel like I've just kind of turned like the drive, the self-confidence, the push and all that into like, you can be okay too, even if you kind of don't feel like you're okay.
And you can be an award winner.
What do you love about yourself, girl?
Wow. I was thinking while everybody was talking, like, wow, these are such good answers, man. What do I love about myself? I love that I'm like open-minded. I'm very chill. I love that I'm open to learning and like unlearning. You know, I think I've been like on a journey of like discovering who I am and learning what that is. And also like just learning to have like to set boundaries and stuff. So I would say that I'm most proud of, and I love the fact that like I'm open to, you know, like if I read something that really touches me, that I know I can implement in my life to make my life better. Like I'm always about that, you know. So I love that I'm very open-minded.
Good job, guys. I'm proud of you.
It wasn't so bad.
It wasn't so bad. But you know, at the end of the day, I think in any way, so like I said, if you're a Christian girly, there's biblical reference to doing shadow work. If you're a manifesting girly, what affirmations are speaking to yourself positively daily to get your subconscious to now believe what you're saying so that you exhibit it externally, right? I think therefore I am. If you're a philosophical person, if you're a psychological person, there is reference to shadow work in many spheres. Maybe it's not called that, but it's there, right? And it's important that we all do the work because honestly, you can't hide your true self from people. If you're a horrible person, you're a horrible person, aka dilemma girl. Maria. If you're a horrible person, you're a horrible person. And it will show up no matter how hard you try. Right? So it's just important, please everybody go to therapy, but it's also really important that you do this work for yourself. Thank you for coming to my therapy session.
Thank you.
Bye.